his shooting woes not affect
Um, I don't know. In the game, he just does so many things that like I don't really notice that he's not shooting well or whatever the case may be. Um, I don't know. I just have gotten in a mode where I'm trying to be aggressive regardless of what's going on. What's going on? I think a lot during the year there was a lot of just like when he's out, what do our minutes look like? But I think just the most important thing for me is like how to be aggressive while he's out there. So I think that's what I've been trying to do, like just play off of him. And like I said, he does so many other things on the court. It's not really that I noticed that he's like maybe not shooting well or whatever the case may be, but it's just more like how can I get to my spots and how can I like contribute to winning.
you. And now that you were talking about, all out effort and diving, all that stuff, it seemed like some of your teammates taking up the cause as well. Isaiah flying through the air after rebounds, those kinds of things. Did you
I don't
sense
know about
tonight that
flying.
everybody was on,
Flying,
in terms of just straight out hustle?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not playing like that this time of year, you're probably going home. Um, there's only 16 teams left. Um, Only one team can win the last game of the season, so that's just kind of the mindset you have to have this time of year if you want to win. Like this is the ultimate competition. Putting your best and putting your best effort out there and trying to get wins. So that kind of is just the standard this time of year. I feel like.
Jim, there's a moment where Case Wallace had a block, and then he had a dunk off the drive. You're celebrating at half court pretty emphatically. Can you just kind of walk me through that moment for you?
just a young player. I'm saying like I'm old, but just his first 2 years in the NBA, like he's expected to do a lot on a very good team. So it's just like I don't want to say it like fills me with pride. I'm just like excited for him that he's like doing that on a big stage. It's just like excitement, and it's kind of like how I feel for everybody. Just like understanding what everybody's going through, or just like the nature of the game. Like it's hard not to be excited when your teammate does well, and like for Queso and like other guys who may not score 20 or whatever the case may be, like those moments matter, and they're like the reason that we win a lot of games. So I was just trying to hype him up, and he's doing an excellent job.
And Alex, you're no stranger to defending bigger players. You were tasked with defending Jared Jackson a lot tonight. What goes into the preparation for defending guys that are quite a bit bigger than you?
Just trying to work early. Trying to not let him get deep post position because if he gets catches down there, he just big shoulder floats, and that's kind of his bread and butter. That's what he wants to get to. So just trying to work early, trying to make him work for everything. Like even on a couple of the ones he made, I felt like I played really good defense, and he had to work a lot harder than he wanted to. And those in my mind are still wins for me because those add up over the course of the game, and the course of the series. So just trying to make it tough for him. He's a good player, but obviously with the disadvantage size wise and weight wise, just trying to do my work early.
Alex, you talked about not being able to go all out 82 games. I think it was Draymond who said one time there's 16 game players and 82 game players. Do you feel like your play style sort of leans itself or allows you to shine brighter in playoff games like this?
Yeah, it might. I don't know. I feel like I play pretty good throughout the year as well. But yeah, there is a difference in in this type of basketball, this time of year, just with the attention to detail, the level of competition. I feel like I'm one of the great competitors in this league. I might not be the top half or quarter, whatever you want to put talent wise, like just natural talent, but like as far as competing and putting it all out there and trying to win, like I'm in the elite group of that, and I'm ready to just go out there and do what it takes to win, and that's highlighted this time of year.
And how much does it help your line of communication with Mark on the floor that you guys have a long history together?
Yeah, it's good just knowing he knows how to kind of push buttons, and he doesn't necessarily need to get me up to play just because I'm already wired to go. But just through the course of the season, it's been great just figuring out when he likes to call certain sets, how he likes to scheme and do certain matchups. And now that I think the second half, last third of the season, I really started to pick up on it, and we just have good symmetry in that. And so this, like, I'll throw ideas out to him, and sometimes he might just tell me, no, we're going to do this, and like that's what it is. But like it's a collective effort to try and put us in the best position to win. And he does a phenomenal job, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm keeping up.
Alex, Barry kind of hit on this with Doug earlier, but we're used to seeing Shea have, just like crazy efficient 30-plus point performances. Obviously, hasn't happened yet this series. What have you thought about Shea so far in the series, and just the way that he's contributed despite maybe not having his typical nights?
Yeah, I mean, Dub talked about it earlier. Like, he does so much through the complete course of the game than just scoring for our team, and I think that's showing up. I don't want to say taking a back seat because he's still being very aggressive, and he's a main engine for us. But I'm playing with him sometimes in that second unit and allowing me to push the ball up the court, create help, now get it back to him, and then he goes. Just his willingness to kind of let guys go and play and be aggressive, I think helps our team. And he might miss a couple of shots that look routine that he might normally make, but if we're winning games how we're winning them and he's having average days, I think that bodes well for us moving forward.
How would you evaluate team defense performance so far in the series?
I think it's been good. First game we were pretty locked in. We kind of hit them with an avalanche of punches that just kind of buried them. But tonight they answered the bell. They got their main guys, took a lot of shots and tried to compete. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. I think probably 75% of the time we're really locked in. And that's part of the challenge of playoffs is getting that to 100% and being the best we can.
Jalen, you guys didn't shoot as well as you did the other night, and they challenged you. I mean, how much do you think your defense kind of spurred your runs? How much can that help you, what you hope to be a long playoff?
That's just kind of our identity. I think when we can hang our hat on that on a nightly basis, we're in pretty good shape. You can't really control a lot offensively. You can go through the process of making the right plays, but there's going to be nights where you don't shoot it well, and that's not an excuse to not win the game or compete. So we try and hang our hat defensively and make sure we're not giving them easy ones and make sure they have to earn a lot of stuff and just being locked in our schemes. And that's kind of where we hang our hat, and then offense comes and goes.